Ari Fleischer is with us. Roland Martin is with us. We're watching the Republican Convention, Ari and Roland. First to Ari here in Tampa. And Ari, I heard you on a conference call earlier today. You have some pretty strong views on how these Republicans who have gathered here in Tampa need to deal with this whole issue of a hurricane hitting Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, even as the speaking continues here in Tampa.
You know, Wolf, I look at this on two levels. One is the government's responsibility to help the people in the way of harm, and it looks like that's going very well, and I think everybody's praying for good results and health for the people in the storm's path. From the political point of view here in Florida, our system is built around certain fundamental political events, the conventions for each party, the debates, election day. And whenever there's some type of natural disaster like this, so long as it's not so terribly severe that so many lives are lost, we have an obligation to democracy. We wouldn't cancel presidential debates if there was a hurricane coming through a different city. And I look at this convention the same way. It's important that it proceed. It's important for the Democrat convention next week to proceed. And then we'll get on with the next big political events. That's how elections work. That's how democracy functions. And so I'm just not in the party that we're part of the group that says this should be canceled, this should be pared back, it should be toned down. It's part of Americana. It's part of politics.
Roland, you feel the same way?
Well, I would say there's no doubt that it is part of democracy. The problem is this here. When you have such a major event and you have speakers who are operating from the podium, criticizing the president, his party, and his politics, while you don't know what's happening on the ground, that's part of the problem. One of the points I made yesterday, that you have Republican governors in Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. Jindal's not here. The governors of Mississippi, Alabama, same thing. And so when you are dealing with folks who might be losing their life, might be displaced from their home, and so you have two different pictures that are going on. So, I don't believe that you cancel it, Ari, but I do think as a party, you have to recognize that you're having an event going on while you have a portion of the country that is being devastated. And so it's hard to say one thing from the podium when you really don't know what's happening on the ground. If it comes to shore, then we see what happens tomorrow. You have a better sense of what the damage was, how severe it was. That dictates certain things.
But these people are adept. They're able to talk about what's happening on the ground there. They'll address it. But that's my point is if it happened right before presidential debate, the debate should go on. Convention should go on.
And as Senator Obama said in 2008, things go on. You have to do more than one thing as when you're president. Same thing. I think you're running this sort of convention.
All right, guys, we're going to go.